Are you tired of robotic-sounding AI voices?
Well, would you believe you're listening to a generated voice right now that was created in seconds? I'm AI Adam, and I make content on automation and AI tools. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to use ElevenLabs, the most advanced AI voice generator out there. Whether you're making YouTube videos, podcasts, or just want to have some fun with text-to-speech, this tool will blow your mind.
What? By the end of this tutorial, you'll know exactly how to turn text into realistic AI voices. And if you want to follow along, make sure to open the link to ElevenLabs in the description below and try it out yourself. Let's dive in.
ElevenLabs is the industry leader in text-to-speech and AI voice generation, and it has a ton of different features that we're going to get into in this video. First of all, it has text-to-speech, which allows you to paste in text and generate a voiceover in seconds with tons of different voices to select from. It also has things like speech-to-speech, which allows you to upload your own voice and change it into something completely different. Additionally, it has things like dubbing, which allows you to auto-translate into other languages for your videos, and things like text to SFX, which allow you to describe different sound effects you might want and generate them with AI. Finally, we're going to show you how to clone your own voice by uploading a small digital sample, which you can then use in text-to-speech or speech-to-speech throughout ElevenLabs. Now let's get started with pricing. ElevenLabs has several different tiers that all open up different options for you, starting with the free tier. And with the free tier, you get 10,000 credits per month, which allows you to create up to 10 minutes of text-to-speech every month, along with starting to generate sound effects. Now, if you want to up that, you can go to the $5 a month starter package, which gives you 30 minutes of text-to-speech per month, along with the ability to use ElevenLabs for commercial use, which could be huge if you're generating things like commercials. The starter package also unlocks the ability to clone your own voice with as little as 1 minute of audio. Now, the creator package adds even more with 100 minutes of high-quality text-to-speech, and it also unlocks further professional voice cloning capability along with further dubbing capability and higher quality audio.
Money, please!
The pro, of course, is if you're making a ton of voiceovers with 500 minutes along with all of the included features from the previous tiers.
Now let's jump into the software and get started with ElevenLabs.
Now when you log into ElevenLabs, you'll be taken straight to the speech synthesis page. And this is where you can get started immediately with text-to-speech. And you can do this by typing straight into the text box here and hitting generate. But first, you should select a voice. And what I love about ElevenLabs is the library of voices that they have. They've cloned hundreds of different voices of all different intonations, accents, and characters, which really lets you niche down and find a voice that really fits whatever you're trying to make. So when you find a voice that you like, you can hit play.
Ignite your passion, chase the stars, and dance with uncertainty.
And listen to a sample of what that voice is like. And the professional voice clones are going to be a little bit higher quality than some of the others, depending on your application. Now, once I find a voice that I like, I can go ahead and click add here, and this is going to be added to the voices that I can use on the text area. So now, if I go back to text-to-speech, I can find my motivational voice added in here, and here it is right here. So when I select this, I can put in whatever text I want and generate speech.
Now, let's jump into the software and get started with ElevenLabs.
And just like that, in under a second, it is created my voiceover. Now I can download that by clicking the button here, but I also have this settings bar. And in this settings bar, I'm able to modify things like stability and similarity. Now, stability affects the character's emotional range when it's creating the audio. So a lower or more variable stability will lead to a more dramatic performance by the character, and a more stable will lead to something that's a little more monotone. Similarity speaks to when AI is generating the voice, how similar you want it to be to the original which you sampled. So when you lower this, it's going to lead to more variability in the voice that you are generating compared to the voice that you have selected. So if I play this again,
Now, let's jump into the software and get started with ElevenLabs.
and then I vary the stability, and make it much more variable.
Now, let's jump into the software and get started with ElevenLabs.
You can hear that it's actively changed the intonation of the voice, and this is what stability does. So this is really useful if you want to tune something up and get it sounding just right for your application. Finally, we have advanced settings, and when I jump into advanced, we're able to go through and vary this, but it's just a different layout that also includes these settings rather than just a pop-up. So this is text-to-speech, and we can see here that I can jump in and look at any of the history that I have created before, which is useful when you need to jump back and find exactly what you want in terms of the voice. But there are plenty of other features that are super cool around ElevenLabs, and next we're going to look at Voice Changer. Now, Voice Changer works as described, where you can upload your own voice or somebody else's voice and change it so it sounds completely different. So I'm going to show you how to use this now. And we're going to do this by recording audio. So here I'm going to begin recording a clip. Now let's get started working with ElevenLabs. And we have this clip here that's 5 seconds. Now let's get started working with ElevenLabs. And with this clip, I can go and select any of the other voices that we have been using. And once I hit generate speech,
Now, let's get started working with ElevenLabs.
and you can hear that it kept a lot of my intonation, but completely transformed my voice. So this is also really useful if you don't like the sound of your voice, or you're trying to sound maybe a little bit peppier, or change your tone for something like voice acting, because there are quite a few different characters that are on here as voices. Next, let's take a look at sound effects. Now, sound effects is really interesting because you're able to describe different things that you want sound effects for in your editing and generate them with AI, and you can use those right away. So this works just by prompting. So I can add in something like dramatic whooshing build-up sound for a video that I want to make and generate sound effects off that. And let's see what this looks like. And here we have 4 different generations that we can test. And you can hear that they all sound pretty good. So this is fantastic for getting different sound effects for your videos. We also have the advanced settings, which allows you to do things like select the specific amount of time you want it to take, which is really useful because in my case, I want this to be much shorter, something like 4 seconds, and we can scale the prompt influence to get more creative results or less creative results. So here with 4 seconds, let's see what we get with this. And you can see that it shortened those sound effects without any clipping. So this is very helpful when you need a specific sound effect that is a specific duration. Finally, SFX also has this Explore tab, which has a bunch of sound effects that have been pre-generated. And this is also really useful to get a feeling of how to prompt or to just grab these and use these in your videos. Now that we've gone through the create options in ElevenLabs, we can take a look at workflows. And this is where you can really put together projects. And here's where you can manage and edit longer form content. You can actually upload videos here and edit over them with your speech. So you can adjust things like emotional range and context on a longer form video. VoiceOver Studio is where you can put a bunch of different voiceovers that you've generated together. And it actually comes with an editor where you're able to layer together different voices and different AI generated speech on top of each other with sound effects. And that allows you to put together a single audio file that may have multiple speakers. Next, you have Dubbing Studio. And Dubbing Studio has a similar editor to VoiceOver Studio with the key difference that you're able to take audio to audio or text to speech and actually translate whatever that person is saying into a different language and layer it over. This allows you to dub anything you want into a different language almost flawlessly. Finally, if you run something like a blog or create content and want to translate that into an audio version, you have Audio Native. And this allows you to connect to a thing like a blog and create an audio voiceover for that blog. So you can change it to a podcast or something like that that makes it more engaging for users to read or to listen to. So this is really useful for creators of all types. Finally, we have conversational AI, and this is currently in beta, but it's really interesting to look at. And this really involves creating AI agents. So things like chatbots or phone answering bots that can speak and understand other people in real time. And if you want me to create a video on creating these AI agents that can speak to you or a customer live, leave a comment on this video. Finally, I'm going to show you how to create your own voices, and you can do that in this Voices tab. Here, you can go to My Voices, and you can create or clone a new voice. Now, when I hit Add a New Voice, we have Voice Design or Instant Voice Clone. Now, with Instant Voice Cloning, you just need to upload a sample of whoever the subject is talking for about a minute, and it will do a fantastic job cloning that voice. But you also have the option to voice design, and here you can design your own voice and select a different tone, different accents, and put it together so you get exactly what you want from ElevenLabs. And this is really useful if you're trying to create a brand identity or a voice that's unique to your channel or your media.
I hope you've enjoyed the video and consider ElevenLabs. Subscribe for more videos on AI automation and businesses with AI Atom.